Hello everybody, I am here just outside of Los Angeles in Culver City at the Holy Cross Cemetery. And I haven't been to a cemetery in a while, but for those of you who have watched a lot of these videos, you know what I'm about to do. I'm trying to find some celebrity grave sites. So let's see who we can find here at the Holy Cross Cemetery. Come along with me, won't you? Well, before I found any graves, I found a little pond here with lots of turtles. So let's celebrate life first. Wow, look at all the turtles. Hey! Oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. I don't know the way they're looking at me. Maybe I should be worried about them hurting me. When was the last time you guys were fed? Don't be thinking I'm edible. Boy, wouldn't that be a way to go? Death by turtles in a cemetery. Wonder if that's ever been thought of as a horror movie. Well, you heard it here first, folks. Hey, why aren't you in the water? It's a nice sunny day. Just hop on in. Oh, I guess this is some of their food right here. Sponge. Well, that's a neat little unexpected surprise. All right, well, let's go find our first celebrity gravesite. All right, here's our first sighting. This is, I don't want to move the flowers as that would be disrespectful. This is where Sharon Tate Polanski is laid to rest. And she, of course, was brutally murdered by the Manson family. So some of you might remember hearing about that story. Not a very pleasant story. Scary time back in the 70s. So Sharon Tate, who was a rising star in Hollywood, and who knows what she would have gone on to do movie-wise had she not been brutally murdered and her life cut short. Here's the grave of Rita Hayworth, who I don't know too much about her other than her name, and her name is very famous. And so this is her final resting spot. If you come here to the Holy Cross Cemetery, it is when you come in, and this is information I got through the Seeing Stars website, and highly recommend that. It's very helpful in helping you to find these places, these final resting places of celebrities. You just go, once you enter in the gate, you'll come to a fork in the road right away. You just go to the far left and go up the hill, and as soon as you get just near the top of the hill, you'll see like the volcanic rock structure. They call that the grotto, and most of the celebrities are buried here in this area. Basically, this is like the volcanic rock, and this is the grotto. And then right over there down the pond is there's a pond right there. That's where the turtles are that we saw earlier. And here is a significant find. Bela Lugosi. Look at that. Some little rascal left some vampire teeth here. Well, he was the original Dracula. That's how he's best known. Did a few other horror movies and really pretty much got typecast as Dracula. But here is his final resting place. I don't think I'd want to be here after dark just to be on the safe side. Blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't think he ever did that. I don't think he ever went blah, blah, blah. All right, here is the final resting place of Jack Haley, who I had to look up who this was. He was the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. And this is where he is at. Bing Crosby's supposed to be around here somewhere. And so I'm going to see if I can try and find him. Just give you a reference point from where we are. There's the grotto. And I'm just kind of in this area here. You can see all the volcanic rock. And then there's the entrance down there. So you come in that entrance. From that vantage point, you're going to turn left and come up this drive right here and then park. And here is Bing Crosby's final resting place, which is incidentally is just, let's see, like 5 spots over from where Dracula is buried. Harry Lillis Bing Crosby. I didn't know that was his real name. Harry Lillis. Didn't know. Passed away in 1977. The first part of that year I was in kindergarten. Second part of that year I was in first grade. That was quite a while ago. And again, for a reference point, there's Bela Lugosi's grave with the flowers. And then of course here's the grotto. And right here we have Macdonald Carey. Those of you who are fans of the soap Days of Our Lives will remember that name. And he was also, not only did he star as in the very first episode all the way until he passed away in 1994, he was it Tom Horton? I think it was Tom Horton. I think that was his name in the show. I don't really remember 100%. But he also, not only did he star in the show, but he also was the one who said the famous line, I believe he still says it today, I think they still use his voice today, at the introduction of Days of Our Lives when it says, like sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. So here is where Macdonald Carey lies. Boy, we're finding a lot today, and they're all pretty much in this one area. Not too bad. This is Jimmy Durante's grave. We're right next to the grotto. We're on the other side. The pond was down there. Now we're up on the north side of that grotto, and here is the final resting place of Jimmy Durante. Ha-cha-cha-cha. I don't think I've ever seen a movie with him in it. I've just seen Frosty the Snowman, which he did the narration for that, and his caricature was there. I think I've seen lots of caricatures of him in different cartoons, but never actually seen a movie with him in it. But I know he was famous, and here is where he lies. Got a pretty good panoramic view of the area here. There's the grotto back over there. So we're not too far up from where we were. And then this is where you will find the final resting place of Chick Hearn, who is the announcer for the Los Angeles Lakers. Boy, grew up listening to him. And no one could quite describe the game of basketball like Chick Hearn. Another fun note, he also hosted Bowling for Dollars, which I remember watching while growing up. You know, these sportscasters like Chick Hearn and Vin Scully, who passed away a couple years ago, you know, these new modern sportscasters, they just don't do as good a job. And that's not to bash them or anything, but these guys had to describe it on radio. They had to describe what you were seeing, and so they would just really give you an idea of what was actually happening on the court or on the baseball field. And Chick Hearn, no one could do it like him. Okay, I believe we're about halfway through. And our next stop is into this giant mausoleum. I like saying mausoleum that way. It just sounds more foreboding and creepy. Come into the mausoleum. Well, let's see who we find in here. I hear there's another cast member from The Wizard of Oz in here. Let's see if that's so. So this is interesting. They've got these spots out here with no names, and I'm assuming they're available or they've already been purchased for someone and they have not yet expired. Now what must that be like? You know, you have your little spot already. Could you imagine coming up to where your spot's gonna be like, well, I think I'll go have a sit next to the spot where I will be laid to rest. No, I don't think I would do that. But hey, whatever floats your boat. Okay, we just came inside the mausoleum. And here we find the spot for Ray Bolger. You know, I didn't realize he lived until 1987. And of course, he was the one who played the Scarecrow. And I'm talking quietly, of course, because we're inside and there's some other people here and I don't want to disturb them. So Ray Bolger, 1904, 1987. Okay, right here we have the resting place of Fred McMurray. I wasn't sure if that was showing up on the camera. You'll know him from a lot of Disney films, like The Absent-Minded Professor, the original Shaggy Dog, The Happiest Millionaire, and of course he starred in a TV show called My Three Sons. So here's where Fred McMurray is laid to rest. All right, right there you can see that's the final resting place of John Candy, who was really one of my favorite comedic actors. Got his start on SCTV, made a whole bunch of movies. Oh, just love that guy. Really funny, really funny. Lost him too soon. And he is just a couple of spots above Fred McMurray. All right, let's see who else we can find. Okay, I think that's everybody that is famous anyway. A lot of people in this mausoleum, but I think we've seen all the celebrities, so we can head on out and finish our self-guided tour. Well, here's a question. So here's the stairwell. You get a discount if you get one of these plots here in the stairwell. These are the kind of questions that pop into my head. I know, I'm a weirdo. Okay, we are outside of the mausoleum, which means I can talk like normal again. Because it was hard, kind of, I don't know. I'm not good at the whole whispering thing. I feel like I'm not getting through to you folks. All right, let's see. You don't want to see my shadow, so let's go over to this side. And we have our next celebrity. This is not the kind of celebrity who has, you know, been in movies or anything, but he is the owner, or was the owner, of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Really was the owner of the Brooklyn Dodgers, and he was instrumental in moving them out here to Los Angeles. Walter O'Malley. And the O'Malley family owned the Dodgers for quite a number of years before they decided to sell it off. And so Walter O'Malley moved the Dodgers from Brooklyn to Los Angeles, and the rest is history. Okay, just a couple more that we're going to go ahead and find, and then we'll be finished. I'll just give you another panoramic view here. You can see the lovely Culver City. LAX is down that direction somewhere. And then downtown LA is back the other direction on the other side of the mausoleum. So if that mausoleum wasn't there and we could go over to that side of the hill and look over, we might be able to see downtown Los Angeles. But for now, you'll just have to imagine it. Okay, there's the mausoleum over there. So I'm over here on this other side of it, and I didn't have to go too far to find the resting place of Lawrence Welk. A wonderful. Please turn on the bubble machine. Boy, I can remember my grandparents watching these shows, watching Lawrence Welk show. Everyone wanted to watch Lawrence Welk if you were above a certain age. These days, it's Jeopardy, I think. I think that's the show that's a favorite of the senior citizens in this country. Lawrence Welk, who I believe lived down on the way to San Diego in Escondido. I think he lived down that way, but he is buried here, and it says, "Keep a song in your heart." Good old Lawrence Welk. Well, you want a treat? Why don't you YouTube a Lawrence Welk show? It'd probably be a little cheesy, but the music's good, and I guarantee you'll be entertained. Well, I am up here as far as you can go in the Holy Cross Cemetery. Nothing over there. This is it. This is the boundary of the cemetery. And I'm looking for one final celebrity. Now, there's going to be some of you who are going to watch this and be like, well, he didn't go see this one or that one, or, you know, there's going to be some names, some people I'm leaving off here. But I'll be honest with you, yeah, I did skip some because I just didn't know who some of those people were. I'll be honest. I didn't know who they were. And so I did skip some of those. But I'm looking for one more, and I'm not seeing it right now. What I am seeing, though, is they've got a gopher problem here. We got to get those groundskeepers up here to maintain some of this. That is just pitiful. Pitiful. You can't even see this. Can't even see this fella's marker. Wow. Those gophers have no respect. No respect at all. No respect for the dead. Yeah, you hear that? Yeah, I'm talking to you down there. All right, let me see if I can find this last resting place we're looking for. It said it was up here in this area, about as far as you could go. But I am not seeing it. I'm not seeing it at all. Or I'm still looking for that last one, but boy, I noticed something a little bit odd here. It's like there's a couple spots where it looks like there used to be a marker, and now there's not. And the most pronounced one is this one. Like someone like steal it? Because I mean, it looks too precise for it to have never been there, I would think. You know, I feel like someone maybe took it. Boy, that's pretty messed up. Who would do such a thing? Yeah, I don't get that. Maybe it was the gophers. No, probably not. Okay, let me see. It's gotta be around here. Oh, I think I found it. Yes, sir. This is a perfect way for us to end. This is like our grand finale. Ricardo Montalban. Of course, you might remember him from Fantasy Island. Welcome to Fantasy Island. Or even more famously as Khan from Star Trek, the TV series, the original series, and from Star Trek 2. Boy, he was a good villain. Excellent villain in Star Trek 2. Good old Ricardo Montalban. And he's also known for those fine Corinthian leather commercials. He was selling those cars. And he was a spokesperson for those cars for a long time. So he passed away in 2009, and his wife in 2007, not too long after her. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you ever want to come to the Holy Cross Cemetery here in Culver City, I do recommend that you visit the website Seeing Stars. I think that's what it's called. And I'll put the link on here, so I'll put the link in the description so you can go ahead and visit that, because it's very helpful, and it basically has directions on how to find all the celebrity graves in every cemetery here in Southern California. So I did a couple of these well, I guess I would say earlier in the year, but really it was towards the end of last year. And then I got back from my trip, decided to do another one, and there are a couple more cemeteries in the area that we can look at and explore and find some more celebrities. So maybe I'll do that, visit those at a later date. Well, in honor of Ricardo Montalban, I was going to go ahead and yell out Khan, just like Captain Kirk did in the famous movie Star Trek II. But, you know, there's some folks down there, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to ruin their time here as they pay respect to their loved ones. So we're going to pass on that. And I'll leave you with this view looking out towards, oh, I don't think you'll be able to pick that up, but in the distance, it's kind of hazy today, but in the distance you can see Palos Verdes. On the other side of that's the ocean. The ocean is out that way. I can see it, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it. And then LAX is right down there. Just over the top of one of those buildings, you'll be able to see the tower. Let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. There you go. Oh, there's a plane coming in. Maybe that's what we'll do next. See, if I drive home right now, it's going to be like 5 hours of traffic. So maybe I'll head on over to the In-N-Out by LAX and watch some planes for a while. Well, we will see you next time, folks. Have a great rest of your day.